Hello, it is Sunday and it is time for my mental health vlog. I sound congested because I'm having a major allergy attack this week, which has just been lovely. I usually don't get real bad bouts with allergies, but ever since moving to Houston, every couple of years or so, I get hit pretty hard with it. So I thought it was a cold just because I've been running around so much the past couple of weeks and been really run down, but no, it's just allergies. Um, Dealing with a lot of anxiety this week after a very long waiting period for my ex to sign the paperwork that we sent him, and him very clearly claiming a couple weeks ago that this was just not a priority for him. We have met with a lawyer, which I have put on retainer, which cost way more than I was hoping to spend on this process, but I feel like my hands have been forced at this time. That I need to get this done. She is very smart. She was actually a recommendation from a friend of ours, and she's very good at what she does. And I am looking forward to having this process managed and maintained in a timely manner, and trying to avoid a whole lot of conflict. However, my ex will be served with an addendum letting him know that I have retained an attorney, and I am not expecting that to go well. I do fear retaliation. I do fear him shutting down. I do fear him getting very angry. But again, I don't feel like I've been left with a lot of choices. So that was a big thing this week. Had therapy this week, and it was very timely to have therapy, because I did talk about all the positive fun stuff that we did on the cruise, but I also got to talk about the stuff with my sister and seeing my dad, and just a lot of other anxiety and the divorce, and things, just a lot of other things I've got going on in my head. So it was a really opportune timing, and I always enjoy my therapy. She does still want to keep me at a month. We were doing 3 weeks, and now we've pushed it to a month between appointments. She said if I need to go back to meetings sooner, I can. But she's pretty confident that with the way I've been displaying my use of the tools that I've been learning over the last couple of years, she's pretty confident in spacing me out a little bit further for therapy, which is awesome. Actually, to get that kind of acknowledgement from your therapist, like you're on the right track, you're doing the work, you're doing good. So that's been pretty cool. I mentioned earlier I was been a little run down, and I absolutely have. When I was back in Florida, talking to my sister, talking with my brother-in-law, talking with my mom, all about, the self-care stuff they have to do, they need to do, especially now more than ever. And when my therapist is like, that's great, how's your self-care been? And I'm like, next subject, because it's so much easier to give advice than to follow your own advice sometimes, and I'm guilty of that. So I've not been doing great with my self-care. I did take some time this week, and I colored my hair and shaved, and it was pretty low-key, but just like laundry. But even things like that are just self-care. But I've been having to take a lot of naps. I've been having to lay down when I'm just so tired and run down. And it's just because the past couple of weeks have caught up with me, and I just needed the rest. My sister did go home this week from the hospital. She is still wheelchair bound, as is her husband. But they had some friends that removed some doors in their homes and built some ramps, so my sister's able to maneuver through most of the house. And they have an outdoor shower right next to their pool, so she was able to go out and get like a great shower in her backyard, and she said it was just the best shower ever. And after being in the hospital for 2 weeks, I can absolutely imagine that it was probably the best shower ever. And her first night home, she said she slept for like 11 hours in the bed, which I'm thrilled. She got some solid sleep, and now she can really start, working on the adjustments that are needed in their lives to accommodate these changes for the next couple of months, year or so. Today is Mother's Day. Happy Mother's Day to all, if it applies. I made a comment on Facebook earlier today that I'm blessed because not only do I have my amazing birth mother, who's just like my mother. She brought me into this world. She raised me to be the fantastic person that I am now. And I talked with her a little bit today, and so I've got mom. Mom is mom. Mom is mom number one. But I also have a lot of like pseudo moms. Like my aunt is always been mom number two. Like that's never been a question. Like my aunt is mom number two to my sister and I. She's dedicated a huge chunk of her life to my sister and I, and there's just never been a question that's mom number two. And then I've got powerful women who have been in my life in the roles of like a boss who was really like a work mom that I worked with for years, and got to know her family really well. And I was thinking about, like growing up, like the neighborhood mom, who, this particular one I'm thinking of, who had 3 daughters, and one of them was about my age, and one of them was about my sister's age, and we went to the same school, so it was nice, and they were just a bike ride away. So, she was always like a neighborhood mom too. So just thinking about all the mothers and mother-like figures that I've had in my life, I've been very, very lucky. And of course, my drag mother pointed out that I missed her in that post, and I knew I had missed someone, and damn it, it had to be her. My drag mother, who, I no longer do drag, but I feel like she's been a dear close friend of mine for, about 75, 100 years. It seems like that anyway. Very, very special person in my heart. And actually, I got a great compliment from her today because she asked me, who I was using for all of my artwork for my shop. And I'm like, what do you mean who I'm using for the artwork? He's like, well, who does your artwork? I'm like, I do? And she started talking to me a little bit about a brand of hers that she wanted to kind of launch, and asked if I would, work on some stuff for her. So it was a huge compliment that she thought that I was outsourcing my artwork when it's mine, but also that she felt confident enough in what I was putting out to help her build her brand, I guess. And I've been having a lot of fun with it, and I commented, I'm like, I'm really, really glad that we're working really well together, and I'm giving you what it is you're wanting. And she made the comment, she's like, well, that's because we've known each other for quite a long time, and we get each other. So that's really cool. So that's been a fun project to work on. And that's really helped keep me busy and focused during downtime, because I don't really like downtime. I need to be doing something. That's the ADHD. So aside from the anxiety of the divorce and I'm not sure what the emotion is or the feeling is, where my sister is so far away and I'm all the way over here, and I don't know. I hate that. Ennui, is that a feeling? I don't know. My grandma and grandpa wanted my son to spend the night last night, so they could have him for Mother's Day, and so we dropped him off yesterday and went back for Mother's Day lunch today. That was nice. And so last night there was an event that my boyfriend and I were able to go to with some of our friends, like a little like a party at a bar. And it was honestly just to go out and just to go dancing and just to not have to worry about anything. I needed that so much. I really did. I had a great time, danced, got felt up by some hot guys, which is always an ego boost. And then saw some good friends and some other acquaintances that it was really just nice to see. I did see someone that I hadn't seen for 5 or 6 years, and that was nice to see them. Um, but it was definitely needed. So I'm calling last night going dancing part of self-care, because it's amazing. I didn't know how much I needed it until I got home very late at night, but I realized I'm like, I really needed that. So that was nice. And yeah, that's about it. So I gotta go get my son ready for school tomorrow, because I have him tonight, which I always love it when I get him for a little bit extra time, as long as the schedule allows it. So I always love having him. So I gotta go get him ready for school tomorrow. So I love you guys, and I am tired, but it's been a good week, but it's been a lot of emotions up and down this week, and because I know what's coming with my ex, I am a little apprehensive to let my guard down, and I think right now I just need to be prepared for the worst, but hope for the best. So I'm hoping that he is just at a point where he's like, yeah, let's just get it done. But I'm now in a position where I'm forcing his hand, and that has never worked well for me. So thoughts and prayers. All right, guys. Thank you so much. I hope you're all doing well. I hope you're having a great Mother's Day, and check on your friends. Make sure they're doing okay. Check on your loved ones. Make sure they're doing okay. Call your mother if you haven't. Shame on you. And if you are able to. And check on yourself. This week has been a lot of introspective, trying to figure out what's going on and what I need. And sometimes you don't know what you need until you've done it. So, okay, I will chat with you guys. Is next week still May? What time? I have no idea what day it is. I have no concept of time. So I think we're still in May. Okay, so I'll just see you guys next week.